Take right on right left.
Well, we're here with Kyle Steele, who is the ride captain for the BC leg of the Military Police Motorcycle Relay. Kyle, welcome to Valemount.
Thanks, Mike. Well, thank you. We're really happy to be here. I'm really happy to roll into town and visit, obviously, Valemount as we do each year, and receive the support and the high visibility option for the charity, and then roll into the 266, which is by far one of our favorite Royal Canadian Legion branches.
Mm-hmm. So how's the ride been going so far this year?
Not well at all. No. So far to date, we've raised in a matter of only about 4 days $9,100 for the Military Police Fund for Blind Children. And that is obviously our goal. Our goal is two set. It is to raise visibility for the charity and also to raise funds for the charity as well. The charity offers visual aid or funding for those who would have visual disabilities from 0 to 18 years of age, and it doesn't need to be a child of a military policeman or a woman or a military member or a police member. It can be a civilian child as well.
Well, we do this every year, and we try to raise awareness for this, but there are people who don't know what we're talking about here. So I'd like to kind of ask you to give us an overview. What is the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay, and what is the charity we're talking about?
Right, well, about 10 years ago, the four founding fathers of this ride said we're going coast to coast, and they were largely military policemen, retired or former and current at that time, and we're going to go coast to coast, and we would like to raise money for the the only charity recognized by the Canadian Forces, certainly the only motorcycle charity recognized by the Canadian Forces. So the Military Fund for Blind Children is almost a trust built for those who are approved with their applications, and can give the ability to help. And this can be in the form of donations, this can be in the form of braille laptops, special glasses, etc., etc. And what the ride is one of its largest supporters and sponsors. Although we are not the charity, we do have carry the banner and the flag of the Provost Marshal of Canada, which is of course the other national police force in this country. So we ride in force quite often. We ride under RCMP escort, city escort, and municipal police forces, as well as Provost Marshal military police escort. And we get where we're going to meet good folks like you, Michael, and also meet the good folks of Valemount.
Great. And it's a national ride, but it's also broken out provincially. So you're on the provincial part of that national ride.
Yeah, that's correct. It's a national ride, so the riders that can afford it, of course, it's our own fuel, our own hotels, our own food, where folks like the Legion, the good folks of Valemount, can't be everywhere. So we of course cover our own costs. We do go coast to coast, which is starting in Victoria, British Columbia, and all the way across the country to St. John, Newfoundland. Depending on the year, it's around 27 days. And Interspersed in there are the different regions, based loosely around the provinces that we cross, but we will have people that do the loop and then escort the riders as far as they can eastward, and then meet up with another loop, and then the Alberta loop will do the same as Saskatchewan and across the prairies and across to Ontario and all the way across to St. John, Newfoundland. And those that come back, such as myself, will come back leading the British Columbia team, and those that move on, move on. So we just attached recently earlier today with the national team, and we handed off the donations, and of course our chief mascot, which is Officer Cadet Mora, which is a 4-foot fuzzy teddy bear.
Okay.
I am going to. It's not Jeff.
So, Ron, this is your first ride on the BC leg of the military police motorcycle relay. How did you get involved? I understand you were brought in especially to do some training for this. So how did you get involved with this ride to begin with?
That's right. I was taking some motorcycle courses with Kyle Steele, and he invited me to come. He found out my credentials for instruction of motorcycle riding, and he invited me to come down and teach the crew for a couple of days to get them used to, we put them in some skill sets to get them more comfortable with their bikes. And after those 2 days, the feedback was everybody was much more comfortable with the bikes and riding in packs, which was in pairs, different riding strategies. There's pairs, there's staggered, there's single file, and the transitions to and from those. And everybody's a lot more comfortable doing it and was really appreciative of the instruction for the 2 days prior.
Right, I imagine that, a lot of people sort of think about this type of thing and want to get involved, but really don't have the experience riding in a group, and that's a real different situation. What kinds of things would you have to look out for?
Well, safety of the group is paramount. We're always looking to make sure everybody is safe, even though they're paired up, and we like to see them in the pairs. We tell them safety is of paramount. If you have to ride your own ride in the end, you ride your own ride. Taking that into account, we're trying to put that all into a group formation.
So we've talked to a few people today who are first-time riders, and how did they respond to this type of training?
It was all positive. They were all smiles. At first they were a bit apprehensive and you could see the head shaking, but after the first day you can see they came back the second day and they were getting it. The smiles were coming out. We put them in formations. We had live motorcycles, even in a controlled environment on a closed circuit. We had police motorcycles zooming up and down, lights flashing, sirens blaring. So the first few times that was happening, they were a bit apprehensive, but after a while they numbed to the noise and they got used to it.
Well, we like to try to encourage people to want to get involved as a rider in future years, so we don't want to scare them off. So you had some people who were doing their first time ride and some people who may not have had a lot of experience. They handled this well, I would take it?
Oh, they did, and the feedback I've gotten from the riders is they're going to encourage more people to come out and get on the ride, especially since they're bringing in training officers like myself and another gentleman who came along to help them with any issues they may have with apprehensions of riding in a group.
Now let me ask you a personal question. So this is your first ride in this group. How are you enjoying it?
Well, this is great. This is fantastic. I always enjoy group riding myself. I think it's such a dynamic way to ride a motorcycle.
And what's been your favorite memory of the ride so far?
Well, I always enjoy coming through the mountains. I'm always in awe. It's tough to keep your eyes on the road when you're coming through the mountains, that's for sure.
Well, we're here with Jennifer Mayer, who is on the executive for the BC leg of the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay. Jennifer, welcome to Valemount.
Well, thank you very much for having us. We got an escort into town, so that was very nice.
Yeah, that is excellent. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about the executive. So you're the executive on the BC leg of the ride. Can you explain how that came to be?
Sure. So in past years, it's been more of a one-man show, and but it's a huge job arranging everything. So this year, people stepped forward and took on different portions of it. So there's always a silent auction in Victoria, and I offered to help out with silent auction, which then grew to include the meet and greet and then swag as well. So all of our embroidery, stickers, and t-shirts I've been handling for the ride.
Wow, sounds like a big responsibility. So how long ago did you start, and when will you finish?
Well, this is the fourth year that we've been involved in the ride, and so the executive model only happened probably about 3 months ago, I think, is when that all came about. And I hope to have everything wrapped up kind of by the end of August.
And does your role have anything to do with the national part of the ride, or do you coordinate somehow?
A little bit. We have, because we've got so much swag that we had produced for the ride, we did divide that up and ship that off to other provinces, get it all arranged to hand off to the Alberta team that just met us in Jasper.
Great. And so how's the ride been going so far? You having fun?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, it was a little bit rainy coming into town, but it's beautiful now. So hopefully the rest of our day will be good.
What's your favorite memory so far?
Favorite memory so far? Well, we had a great time on, we went from Golden to Jasper, and so that was just beautiful. We had some time to stop and take pictures, and that's been really fun. And yesterday we had a rest day in Jasper, and the Veterans Adventures program took really good care of us, and we did some kayaking, and that was brilliant as well. So
great. And how's the weather been for you?
Up until today, it's been beautiful. We've had just perfect riding weather, not too hot, not too cold.
Well, thank you for bringing it to us.
You're most welcome.
Which is fine. So I'll
We're here with Petty Officer Tom Stewart and Master Seaman Lee Walls, based out of Esquimalt. I understand you both are submariners.
Yes, I've served on all 4 Victoria and 2 of the Oberon class submarines.
Okay. And how long have you served?
I've served for nearly 5 years on both HMCS Victoria and HMCS Chicoutimi on the out of HMCS Esquimalt. Or CFB Esquimalt.
Okay. And I understand this is your first ride for both of you. So can I ask you both how you're enjoying the ride?
I'm driving the support truck behind us here. So far I've been able to view everything and see how great these riders are. I did ride in our Vancouver Island ride and in the first day through Victoria with the team, so I got to do both. So that's very unique to this year.
Okay. And yourself?
I'm riding the Spider, and I got the trailer behind. I'm really enjoying it. I've never come through on a bike before, so this is my first bike trip through the mountains, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
So what made you both decide to get involved in the ride this year?
I've been supporting the riding community in our local area for a couple of years now with many other riders, and as I've learned to ride and got better, I've just joined up every charity event that I have time off to do, and this year I was able to join this one in a capacity that allowed me to join, and I'm having a great time so far.
And yourself?
Oddly enough, I never heard of it until 2 years ago. My wife actually got a card stuck in the visor here, and last year I tried to attend, but unfortunately I wasn't able to, and this year Chain of Command let me do it, so I'm here by myself, and my wife is at home, so I get to ride her bike and pull the trailer. So.
Okay. And how are you enjoying it?
I love it. It's great. I see way more on a bike than I do in the car. So.
Great. And so you're driving the support vehicle. Why don't you talk a little bit about what are the challenges, what's your duties there for that, and what's involved?
So as a support vehicle, you always have to stay behind at the pack and be the biggest presence on the road to make it safe for the others. So in retrospect, it's great that we have the communications that we do on the CB radios, because I can always hear ahead of what the hand signals are going to be. I have to stay close to the back of the riders. I have to know how a rider rides in order to be safe behind them and keep them safe at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me ask you both, what's been your favorite memory on the ride so far?
Go ahead, Lee.
So far, I enjoyed our ride from Victoria, downtown Esquimalt to downtown Sydney and back as a rider. And if I could do this again, I would choose to ride in the ride instead of being a support vehicle. Mm-hmm. Although it's a very needy position, we hope that somebody else will pick up that position next year instead, so I can ride.
Okay.
Well, there's too many to mention, but and they're all fantastic. The view is unbelievable. But yesterday, the day off, and getting to spend time and get to know the rest of the riders was fantastic. And
Great. So we're always trying to promote this ride because it's a great cause and we believe strongly in the cause here in the community. If there are people who want to get involved as a rider or as a support person for the team, would you encourage them to do that?
well, definitely I would, yes. Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of things that most riders do not or are not aware of. This ride has filled in the gaps to make people safer and understand how pack riding works, and you don't get that always in your learning as you go through the initial stages of learning how to ride a motorcycle. So this really brought everybody's level up, and from going forward they're going to be able to mentor and teach other people in the young riding community and make it safe for everybody in the long run.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people maybe fantasize about, easy rider, you jump on your bike and you go across the country, but I've seen over the years that it's quite a military precision ride. There's lots of details and lots of things you have to think about, and then on top of all of that, the most important thing is to be raising money for a great cause. What can you say about the fundraising part of it?
Well, fundraising is above and beyond the primary goal of the ride, and I would go more along the wild hogs than the easy rider, because we have no plan. We're just taking it on and having fun, and everywhere we support with the decals and all that, and let people come up and chat like you are yourself. And
Good. Have you had any good fundraising moments that people come up? I know last year when people were leaving on the ride, people on the street stopped them and ran over and gave them some money right out of their pocket on the road. Have you had any kind of interesting experiences this year?
In Jasper, there was a couple of people that came right up to the truck because they saw all the stickers and everything on, and they saw the police escort and the riders come in, and they always ask what it's about. Some of them haven't, there hasn't been enough media coverage to let people know coming in. That would be a great thing, to have more media coverage so more people know what's going on. And then yes, we've had people come up and give us money already, every step of the way.
Great.
So again, we're really happy every time to come in and ride into Valemount. As soon as we turn under the arches, it's just, we know we're sort of home. You take care of us very well, you feed us very well. The upstairs is just, it's always very impressive. It's the most impressive, so to speak, entertainment and pastime that it really sort of grounds us, and we really enjoy being here, and we just can't thank you enough, so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, and you're so welcome.
It's unfortunate, but Michael, who often offers us a brewery tour at Three Ranges Brewery next door, works very closely with this Legion as well as the Jasper Legion and the community of Three Ranges Brewery, is here to accept a certificate that we did up for him. I was hoping, Madam President, that you would accept this on his behalf, and it just simply says, the Three Ranges Brewing Company in recognition for outstanding support of the annual military police ride.
Perfect, yes, I can do that for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And before we go, we have something that's a tad different, but not too much. We decided to put together a little plaque because you take care of us very well every time we come through, and this year, I guess, was no different. Would I be right? Would that be correct?
Fabulous.
Thank you, Arsenio. And it just, because we like the 266 and we love rolling in here, it just says to the RCL, the 266 Valemount, for outstanding support of the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay 2019.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Madam President, take one.
I would like to express our appreciation for you folks for choosing us to stop and visit with us every year. We really look forward to having you come through town. And I think we got some ideas about how we might be able to spark a little bit more interest in the community. Maybe a color parade next year, right? Anyways, thank you very much again for choosing to stop here with us.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip.
If people want to get involved in the ride for next year, what would they do as a rider or as a support person? And secondly, you're obviously only here for the day and then you're gone. If they want to support the fundraising efforts, how can they be a part of that?
Well, I'll take the second question first, Mike, if that's okay. What we'll do is we'll have everyone go to www.nationalmotorcyclerelay.ca. That's www.nationalmotorcyclerelay.ca. That's the best place to start. There is a Facebook page, thread, what have you. I'm not very Facebook savvy, but you can follow us there as well, and you can also reach out and ask the fellows for their experiences and how you can be involved. But definitely starting with the website, we'll definitely get you the contact that you need for your province, as well as work out your schedule as how you think you'd like to be involved for 2 days at a time, 1 day at a time, one province, or all the way coast to coast. The first question was, I'm sorry.
Would you get involved if you wanted to be a rider?
Right, and if you want to be involved in a rider, I'm afraid.
Or support.
In support, we of course would like riders. We can't take any more. We can barely handle the ones that we have now. They're a bunch of wild hogs, a lot of them. But seriously, going through the website and saying I would like a registration form, I would like to be indemnified, I would like to sign the waiver, I would like to join the ride next year, what are the dates? Or we still have a couple days left in this ride. Or if you're farther east of Jasper for this year and you want to reach out to that website, it can happen pretty quick. We can make it happen usually in about 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, obviously what we can see here is a very, because there's a lot of military people involved, it's a very precision riding. But for those who aren't in the military and want to get involved, it's a lot of fun, right?
Yes, sir. Fun is obviously our top priority. If they're not having fun, they're not enjoying it, and then they don't come back and do it again. So it's hard to create visibility if we don't have a larger pack. And so we definitely put rider retention and rider priorities at the very top of the list of our personal priorities in BC. And I know nationally they really like to loosen the schedule so the guys can really enjoy themselves crossing the country. And it's, of course, it doesn't matter if you're a car, a motorcycle, a trike, or a Can-Am or a Spider, male, female, we welcome all. If there's anything they have to work out on the ground, we will work it out as far as tactile experiences or a tactical approach. It's always a slow talk, lots of time, done over coffee, and then we get the mission out, which of course is to raise visibility and funds for the Fund for Blind Children.
Great. Well, thank you very much for stopping in Valemount. Best of luck on the ride this year. It's a wonderful thing you guys are doing, and you're raising lots of money, and hope you have great weather. We've had lots of rain, so hopefully you bypass some of that.
Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. We wouldn't schedule rain for this. We never double book the sun.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.